After Quinn finished unpacking, he was able to do what he wanted to do. The rest of the day was enough time for him to explore the academy. Quinn has two roommates who, to his surprise, are Vorden and Peter. The rooms are very empty because the school wants students to spend more time studying or practicing their skills.
What do you guys want to do then?
I'm still unpacking, but you two don't have to wait for me. Feel free to go out and explore.
Peter is particularly shy at first, but slowly he opens up, especially around Quinn, probably because they are both level 1s.
I was thinking of heading to the library. That will probably be too boring for you.
Boring? Please, I can make anything fun. Besides, I haven't read a book in. I can't even remember the last time I read a book.
The three were amused, and then Quinn and Vorden were going to go to the library together.
You're probably wondering what that orb thing is in the middle, aren't you?
Vorden asked.
If you touch the orb, then it allows you to create an isolated space. Inside, only those people who have been invited can hear each other. This way people are able to chat as much as they want without disturbing others.
Quinn realized that the two men were talking but really couldn't be heard. Then he searched for many books on abilities, but never found one like his ability. Walden kept an eye on him and asked,
"What's with all the books? Are you looking for something in particular?"
Quinn thought about it for a while before giving Vorden an answer.
I was trying to decide what ability to get since I've turned down the school's offer.
Oh right, I nearly forgot about that already.
Vorden said with a big grin on his face.
Well, is there anything specific you're looking for?
Not really, although I found something very interesting in one of those books. Have you ever heard of an ability that is weaker in sunlight?
Vorden suddenly started to laugh out loud.
What are you, crazy? I've never heard of something like that. Abilities are something our bodies learn, but for one to get weaker because of the sun. Are you sure you have not accidentally grabbed a fantasy book about vampires?
Quinn felt a little embarrassed by Vorden's reaction. Of course, he understood this reaction was pretty normal. He continued to look around the library to see if there was anything else he could find. Eventually, he had gone through every single one of the books detailing abilities. Quinn then considered trying his chances by going a floor above where there were some second-year students. A book titled The Truth About Vampires immediately caught his interest. Quinn couldn't help but sate his curiosity, so he started to read the book. After reading and skimming through the book, Quinn found most of it to be useless. Eventually, Quinn decided to close the book and call it a day. As soon as Quinn closed the book though, he heard a familiar sound and the pop-up appeared at the corner of his eyes again.
You have gained more knowledge about the system. 10 EXP received. 15 out of 100 EXP.
What?
Quinn blurted out. Quinn stared long and hard at the message and reread it multiple times.
It couldn't be. Did I get EXP from reading that fantasy book?
Quinn immediately had to test it out. After reading several different books about abilities, not one had given him EXP, but for some reason this book did. Quinn then immediately picked up another fantasy story, one about dragons, this time titled Reincarnated into a Human. He did the same as before and skimmed through most of it but made sure to read the crucial parts. Then when he closed the book there was no reaction. This of course was expected. Then Quinn wanted to test another thing out. He picked up another book that was also about vampires and did the same. When he closed the book though the same thing happened, the system had no reaction at all. Maybe Quinn read too many books and the system was delayed. He couldn't believe that the book about vampires was somehow related to his system. Well, he didn't want to believe it. When he finished, Worden was not in the embassy class and had already left. Then when Quinn was just about to leave, he received another message from the system.
Daily quest has been completed. Avoid direct sunlight for 8 hours.
Quinn gains 5 XP, and he has to reach level 10 to open the store. Quinn left the library. He decided to head to the battle arena. There was a theory that he wanted to test out. But as he was walking through the school hallway, he could see a kid being pushed up against the wall by another student. The boy on the wall looked like he had already been hit a few times and had markings on his face. So it started already, Quinn thought. Quinn glanced at the boy's watch and found that the number on the watch indicated that it was in the 1.2 level. Quinn was very surprised by this, as the perpetrators of bullying were themselves very weak. The only person he can bully is someone of the same level as Quinn or Peter. Suddenly Quinn discovered that the person being bullied was Peter. Quinn was torn between getting involved or not. He hated bullies. They ruined his school life. Of course, Quinn wanted to test his current strength with the little white mouse in front of him too. The student lifted his fist again to give Peter another punch.
You think you can just bump into me like that and say sorry?
Then, as Quinn walked past, he deliberately bumped into the student, causing him to lose his balance and fall.
What the hell was that for?
The student looked at the person who had just pushed him and said. Then the student immediately glanced at Quinn's watch and suddenly his confidence increased.
What the hell is a level 1 piece of rubbish like you doing?
Quinn,
Peter was getting a little worried about Quinn, who he knew was incapable of. The uppers with the most power in the world today bully the weak, and in turn, they bully the even weaker. Quinn noticed that the students seemed to be preparing for something, and what happened next confirmed his thoughts.
An ability has been detected. Initiating battle mode. New quest has been given. First fight, power level 1.2. Win the fight to gain 50 EXP.
Quinn had a huge grin on his face. This was how he was going to level up faster.